William Brush from LJ Hooker at Dural. Been doing real estate now for 5 years, specialising in a lot of the rural and I guess luxury homes for the hills. Yes, prior to working with Define, I'd worked with a couple of other, marketing, agencies as such, I guess you call them. My knowledge was limited. I thought I had a decent knowledge and I thought the guys that I was working with were pretty good, but since moving to Define, I realised I probably knew close to nothing because they put me into a whole bunch of other fields where I've actually definitely generated more leads from. Whereas prior to that, I was doing your social, Instagram, all the boosts and thinking I was getting good traction with, an access of 20,000 people or whatever. But since moving to Define, I've been able to get triple the exposure I was getting before and actually started to generate leads from it, not just likes and comments. Yeah, definitely when I started getting the proper traction since moving to Define, just because of, the reach and the specific reach that they got me exposure into. It was random. You'd walk down the street and you'd have this old bloke you've never seen on that, be like, "Oh, William from LJ Hooker, we saw you in that video. You're selling that house on Carter's Road," or whatever street it was, which was, I guess, great because it's another way of connecting and meeting the locals. And again, once they see your face over and over, it's more building rapport without even knowing it. Definitely the ads that Define have now pushed me into and targeted. I've definitely got more exposure out of the area, and now it's a case of you can be at the coffee shop just having a coffee with someone and people do say g'day because they've seen you on the internet so many times and on Facebook over and over again. The return's been perfect, more or less the money I've spent, I never thought I would have got the benefits that I have, which has been great. You can't, to sound cheesy or cliche, but I can't put a figure on the return because it has been so good for, my growth in the area and my successes. Definitely be happy to recommend Define to anyone, whether it's real estate, you own a coffee shop or gym, whatever it is, just because of, their knowledge in what is now a more niche market is second to none. I've never come across an agency, and I have used a couple in the past that have that knowledge, and again, it's evident in their successes in some of the companies that they've worked with that they know what they're doing and they know how to get results. So happy to recommend them to anyone.